Y'all, let's get into this review of the 1,000 Pound Sisters, Season 7, Episode 8. Her turkey gobbler's gone.
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my music and reviews. All of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie's Advice. It's time for Auntie's Advice.
Happy Thursday, everybody. And this is Auntie. Y'all, we're going to get into this review. Oh my goodness. I want to shout out JW. She is a member of the channel. Hello there. Hello, everybody. Good to see y'all. Okay, thank you, Lisa. She says, I love your new intro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Hello there, Randy Thomas. Hello, Yolanda. Y'all, we don't have a whole lot of time, so let's get into it as we get into it. Okay? Now, as we all remember last week, there was a lot of chaos and confusion that happened while Tammy was in there fighting for her life under the knife, getting the fat cut off of her. Okay. As we all know, Tammy has lost 500 pounds. And Tammy has also lost a husband. Tammy lost a home. Tammy has a lot of loss, right? She took a lot of L's, if you will, right? And so we're rooting for Tammy. We have been rooting for Tammy since this show started 7 seasons ago. And so now she is crossing, you know, a major milestone, crossing the line, getting her life together and all that kind of stuff, right? And so it's like, okay, yay, Tammy. And in the meantime, and in between time, downtown in the waiting room, there's an issue that's going on with Amy. Now, we have been talking about Amy for quite some time. I think that most of us who have been watching the show for quite a long time, we already know that Amy is working off of 14%, 15% brain capacity. They said that when they tested her brain, that, that's how much brain power she's using, 14%. And they told her that she needed to work on getting her, her brain to function at least 80. We know that she has gone to court. She got bit by a giraffe. And when they got bit by the giraffe, they thought that, they was going to be able to, I guess, maybe put a lawsuit in. But it turns out that they had weed and other things in the car. And of course, they were incarcerated in Tennessee. Amy has made a decision that she's going to go and live with her boyfriend in his dilapidated home. Okay, like hers isn't already bad, but it seemed like to me it was better than his because he had that pool out there that had algae and probably alligators in it. Anyway, I digress. So Amy has been going through her fair share stuff last season. Her family was with her. They were supporting her as she was going through the stuff with Michael. And her family has been there through thick and thin. We have been watching this again for 7 seasons, and I don't know why Amy hasn't been watching it as well. I don't know if her outbreaks and all that stuff that she's doing right now is as a result of her being off of the weed, because of course she was going to court and she ended up getting a suspension. She's on a 2-year probation, both her and her new fiance Brian. She has been talking to the family off and on about this wedding. She got engaged to him very quickly, and now she is wanting all of the family to go with her to an asylum in order for her to get married, and the family is against it. Now, last week when we ended this episode, Chris was talking to her, and Amy said that Tammy said none of you all are coming to the wedding anyway, and so I canceled it, which of course we all knew was a lie. And so Chris was like, she was saying, I don't believe in the church, but I went to your wedding. And Chris said, I will go to your wedding. It's not that I don't want to attend. And it's not that we don't want you to marry the guy. None of us want to go where there are demons in some, vacant um asylum. And on Halloween, she wants to get married in an asylum that has been vacant for years. And she wants the family to go because Amy thinks that this is cute to be this original. Chris is saying, I got my own demons. I am not going. If you have it somewhere else, I'll go. She feels like the family has turned their back on her when really she's turned her back on the family, or at least at the minimum, she's given her family, right? And basically an ultimatum. Either you go to this asylum with me, where I have this stupid wedding to this dumb man, okay, that I've already been incarcerated with, or nothing. So Amy is now in Philadelphia. I believe it was Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Outside of the waiting room last week, she decides that she is going to fart. She's going to fart. And it smelled horrible. And when Amanda said something about it, she wanted to make this a big issue and said, I'm only human. Well, if you know that you're about to break wind like that, and you know you nasty and stinky anyway, okay, look at how dirty her feet are all the time, then you needed to excuse yourself, or at least at the minimum act like she was trying to leave out of the room. So Tammy is in surgery. They have been coming out and giving them updates about what has been going on with Tammy while she has been in the waiting room. I mean, in surgery. And so the doctor comes out and he tells them that, Tammy has gone through the surgery and everything, and that it took a long time, or it took longer than they thought that it was going to take, simply because they could not find a needle. So they did show us the footage of the doctors and the nurses trying to find the needle, because they can't close Tammy up with the a possibility that there is a needle still stuck in her. I believe that they said that it was 30. They used 31 needles during her surgery, and they could only find 30. So, they had to look for the needle. Amanda said maybe the needle is in some of the skin that was removed off of off of Tammy, because as we all know, Tammy went to go and get her goblet removed. She had her arms reduced, surgery on her arms, and she also had what they call, I guess that's her bib, removed. And so, she's still going to have the legs, right? Because when they asked Tammy earlier on in the season, what did she think was a priority? Those were the things that she thought was a priority. So, I guess she's going to wobble and wobble until, she just don't fall down. But anyway, so the doctor comes out and he tells them, it's still going to be a while. We've got to get her together. Now, Amanda, as we all know, has drove 10 miles. She did not fly with Chris and with Amy. Or did they drive up? I can't remember. But anyway, she did not travel with them. She came up later on and did a 10-hour drive on her own. She said that she's basically operating off of fumes, and she feels like, she's delusional and everything, when you just tired, like out of your mind. So Amanda has been trying to sit in the waiting room and trying to wait to see whether or not, Tammy's going to come out. But when they come out again and says it's another 15 minutes, you all know 15 minutes hospital time is like 45. When you are at a hospital, 15 minutes is not 15 minutes. It's 45 minutes, probably to an hour. Just like when you go to a doctor's appointment, it take all day, Sway, all day for that doctor to come out. And your appointment was at 12 and you getting seen, at 1. We're going to bring you back in 15 minutes. Okay. That means that, I need to get a little bit more comfortable. Find something in here to read, one of these old magazines on these little dusty tables. Anyway, so Amanda is like, she's not willing to wait anymore. Amy had left out, I guess, to go to the bathroom or whatever. And so she crosses path with Amanda, who says, you know what, I'm gone. So Amy is like, what's going on? And so Chris says, I don't know, what's going on with her. She's tired out of her mind. She's tired out of her mind. And, it's already a lot to drive 10 hours, right? Excuse me. Because, of course, she drove from Kentucky. I believe she drove from Kentucky all the way to Philly. That's a long way to drive by yourself. It's a long way, like if you got a companion with you, right? But it's a long way when you driving it by yourself. So Amanda, of course, is on hospital time. And, she's like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I see Tammy. So Amy asked Chris what's going on. Chris says, well, she's upset. I didn't just sit here and take a nap. And Amy was like, well, I took a nap. She said, I can't believe she would come all the way up here and not see her sister. You came up there, box off. Amy did not come up there because she was concerned about Tammy. She came up there to check the box. Check, I came. Check, no one can say I didn't come. Check, I'm here. I'm being an asshole. I'm being inconsiderate. Oh, they did drive up because it was Amy, Chris, and Tammy. So they did drive up. And Amanda didn't drive up with them. So I take that back. They did drive up. But you came up there so nobody could say that you didn't come. You've been having a problem with Tammy ever since Tammy lost weight. But now it's just really coming out that Amy is absolutely jealous of Tammy's success. While she's with this man, Brian, who's taking her back. She looks like she's gained almost all the weight. When they went to go and buy clothing, she was in an extra large. She was upset and feeling some kind of way because Tammy was in an extra large. I mean, in a large. And she said, well, I really do wear large, but I want to get extra large for room. Well, the black jacket that she had on that was supposed to be allegedly an extra large would not close. And Tammy mentioned it to her. But Tammy has been peeping the game, but she just ain't been trying to throw her sister up under the bus. But she notices all this stuff. And so Amy, the only thing that Amy has going on right now is 2 little rambunctious little boys and a boyfriend who was arrested with her because he had drugs in the car as well. I also believe that Amy may be withdrawing, right? And I think I said that before, from not having the weed. Hey, Shantaria. Hey, boo. Anyway, let's continue. So Amy makes a big deal out of it. I can't believe that she couldn't wait 5 minutes. That ain't what they said. They didn't say 5 minutes. They said 15. And like I said, 15 minutes hospital time is 45. Can I get an amen down in the comment section? everybody know you're not getting up out of there. So anyway, they have an opportunity to go back and to see Tammy. The doctors want to talk about, the surgery. Tammy was in surgery, I believe, what, 7 or 8 hours. That's a long time. And they mentioned that they could not, until they found that needle, they could not take Tammy off of the anesthesia. They had to find it. And so, of course, that was extra time that Tammy was not breathing on her own. So they needed to get Tammy to the place where she was breathing on her own and she appeared to be stable before they could bring the family in. And so they come out and they tell them, okay, we're ready for y'all to go in. And so Chris is only concerned about Tammy. He's concerned about whether or not Tammy is going to be okay. And now that she's breathing and healthy and she made it out of surgery, this is all he wanted. But Amy has another agenda. So Chris goes back. He's happy to see his sister. He said, she looks good, but he can see, like the dried up blood and stuff like that on her. And Amy is like, hey Tammy, what's up, Tammy? I checked this off the box. I'm getting ready to leave. Now, for me, I thought that her saying that to Tammy, as soon as while Tammy was still yet under, trying to come up from under the anesthesia and everything, I thought that what she did was more inconsiderate than what Amanda did. I mean, let's just go in on and tell the truth and shame the devil up in this camp. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. I thought what she did was more inconsiderate. The girl is coming out of anesthesia. They're allowing you all to see her, see that she's still alive and she made it through. And the first thing you say out of your mouth is, I'm leaving. I'm getting on a plane and going back to Kentucky. And I'll tell you about why I'm doing it later on. And then the thing about it is, she welcome back. Welcome back, sweetie. Welcome back. Good to have you. I thought that what Amy did was more inconsiderate than Amanda. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat. Why even show up? And why do you have to tell Tammy? Tammy didn't even remember. Tammy is hanging on. She's just coming out of an 8-hour surgery. This is what Tammy needed, to see the faces and to make contact, skin contact. And that's what Chris did for them. And you know why I don't really like a whole lot of stuff that Chris do? One of the things that I do appreciate about him is he really is trying to be the big brother. He really is the one who comes and he stands in the gap for the family. That's what Chris does. I like that about Chris. So anyway, they're going to keep her overnight for observation. And then they're going to come back the next day, and that's when they're going to be able to, really have a conversation with Tammy. But in the meantime, Amy's gone. So we see Amy in the car with her boyfriend, and she tells him, "Thank you so much for picking me up." Look at this hot mess express that this woman is. Look at this ride in the ceiling on his car, the interior. It just looked like he got cotton balls just hanging through there from Joanne Fabrics. I don't know. But she's in the car with Brian and she's telling Brian that they were bullying her. I'm sorry. I never saw Tammy get bullied. I mean, Amy get bullied. I saw Amanda check her about fighting like that. And then she sits in the car with Brian and tells Brian, I passed gas and it was the stinkiest one I've ever smelled in my life. And we know that Amy has made a hobby out of passing gas. And for her to say that this was the stinkiest one that she's ever smelled herself says a lot. But the thing about it is, as I said before, and I'm going to continue to say it, excuse yourself. Roll up out the room. You don't have to sit there. But she's complaining and telling him that, they don't support her. She is the black sheep of the family. Matter of fact, she's the black ant of the family. That because the family, every time she gets something new or something is happening good for her, the family is not there. That is a whole damn lie. And we all know that. I think that what Amy wants to spotlight no matter what. Now, this show was, they saw them on YouTube, thought they were funny. They started the show not on Amy's back, but on Amy and Tammy's back. Both of them were YouTube content creators. Amy, during the time that they were YouTubers, was the one who was able to write the narrative. Do you all remember all of the bad things that she used to say about Tammy? We knew that Amy was screwing Mike. We knew a lot of things. The attention has absolutely been on Amy, but it's not now. You brought your family in, and have the fans have fell in love with your family, which is why you've been on for 7 seasons. They did not bully Amy. She doesn't even have the brain compa. You know what? Okay, Auntie, don't do it. Don't do it and don't say it. To sit there and say that you are the black ant or the black flea, the black mosquito, the black sheep is a lie. I thought for a long time that was Tammy. But Tammy, we have seen Tammy grow immature. Tammy done been through some shit. We used to complain about Tammy. Y'all know we did. We used to drag Tammy for filth. And she deserved it. But over the last 2 years, well, no. Over the last year, no. Over the last season, Tammy has grown up because she's had to. And the thing about it is, when she was, dating Caleb, he was a crutch a crutch for her. He unfortunately passed away, but a lot of that stuff had to grow Tammy up. A lot of that had to grow her up. And she did the work. She's still vaping because they just had some type of meet and greet, and her ass was down there vaping. And people have been talking about that damn vaping. But this is what we wanted for Tammy. And Amy is jealous because Amy looks like she's gained at least 125 pounds from where she was. She's talking about skin surgery. Skin surgery on what? The fuck? It's So anyway, the doctors bring them back and they say, they're going to rest and all of that kind of stuff, and they're going to come back. So the next day, Amanda makes it there. The hospital staff comes into the room, to talk to Tammy. They start showing Tammy, we took this much off of your arm. We took a pound off of your arm. In total, between Tammy's arm, her goblet up underneath her neck, and her stomach, they have taken off. They took off 10 pounds of skin. During that process, they were just talking, really just talking to her, and they wanted to take the bandages off of Tammy's face. And they said while they were trying to do the surgery on Tammy, they were trying to find, they asked Tammy to provide them with a picture of her when she was a teenager so that they could, get a jawline or make a jawline. Unfortunately, the pictures that Tammy provided to them, these are Tammy's childhood pictures. These pictures that they provided to her, that she provided to them, Tammy never had a jawline, even as a little girl. So they had to reconstruct a jawline for Tammy because even at the age of, I don't know, let's say 9, 10, some of these pictures, she look like she's damn near 5. Tammy never had a jawline. She always had that goblet and that fat up underneath her. Isn't that sad? All these children pictures that she provided, Tammy never ever had a jawline. Now that right there, that was sad. No wonder Tammy was so nasty. That's why. So the doctors came in and they, like I said, they told Tammy, we've taken off, this amount of skin and everything, and how she did in surgery and X, Y, and Z, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. And then they said, Tammy, do you want to see your stomach? And she said, yes. And so they showed her stomach and they said, you want to look down and look at it, Tammy? And she said, absolutely. And so they showed her belly is flat and everything. And she said, Amanda, do you want to come over and see it? And Amanda said, you damn right I do. So Amanda runs over and everything. She's, she's looking at Tammy's flat stomach. She is applauding and everything. Once Amanda went back to the hotel room and got herself some rest, she came there to Amy said, Amanda acting like she trying to be there for everybody. Amanda was there. I'm sorry. But Amanda was very happy to see Tammy. So now they're at the point where they're like, okay, Tammy, we're going to go head on and take the wrap off of your head so that, we can look at your face. Let me see if I can find that picture. Hold on, y'all, because I thought I had it. Hold on. So they begin to cut the wrap and everything that's on Tammy's face. And here's Tammy. This is the face that they sculpted out for Tammy. Now, we got to keep in mind that at this time, Tammy was still swollen. She was just coming out of surgery, and they wanted her to see. The doctors were so proud of Tammy and everything. And I mean, y'all know what? We couldn't do anything but cheer for her. They gave Tammy a mirror, and she just was in awe. Tammy has never, ever seen herself this way. Never, because in the pictures that I just showed you all, she never had a jawline. So they showed a before and after picture of Tammy, and even her eyes look totally different with that Gobbler being gone. I swear to God, I did not know that bitch was going down to her brussicus. I had no idea it was hanging that low. I think that, over time, I just got accustomed to seeing her, like that. But I was just so happy with her because I could tell that what we were looking at was her. It was her seeing herself, right? There's Tammy with her reflection in the mirror. And I was like, you know what, Tammy, you're beautiful. See, I ain't gonna sit up here and cry. Like I am not gonna sit up here and cry. But y'all, all the laughing, gagging, and dragging. I'm so proud of Tammy to see herself in the mirror for the very first time, seeing something again that she's never seen in her life. This looked like Tammy graduating from elementary school. Tammy has never seen her neck, not in the way that we have. So this was a huge, huge difference in Tammy's life. And I was so proud of Tammy. She deserved to be celebrated by her family, by her friends, by her fans. Now, I ain't going to take back nothing I said about her, okay, back in the day, because I meant that when I said that. Okay, I meant that when I said that. But now to see Tammy evolve and come around and to see Amanda there and Chris, being there concerned about his sister, only wanting the best for her. Amanda and Chris had a conversation and was talking about some of the stuff that goes on in the family, and they were talking about sometimes we get along and we good, and then there are other times when we just arguing with each other, but at the end of the day they come back together. They don't know really what is going on with Amy, but ain't nobody got this to do, right? And nobody, including Misty or anybody, is going to be willing to go anywhere, with her. And so anyway, so they have, Tammy's going to be staying. They take her over to a hotel room that she's going to be staying in for the next 2 weeks to make sure that she doesn't have any infections and stuff like that. And they can, really monitor her. Chris and Amanda asked Tammy, is there anything that you need before we roll up out of here? And she's like, no, I'm okay. I got everything. But even when they were riding back, Tammy was like, it's just disgusting the way that Amy did this. She said in it, that she told me that she was leaving, but I was still under anesthesia. So I don't remember what she said or anything like that. And she said she understood that Amanda was tired. Hell, Amanda drove, 10 hours to get there and then sit in the hospital room. Mind you, Tammy was in surgery for 8 hours. 8 hours. That's a long time. That's 20 hours. Excuse me. That Amanda was up. So even for Chris to say she could have taken a nap, that's easy for you to say. You've had a while being here. Remember, Chris? Remember? Mother. So, they're doing what they're doing with the whoop 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 whoop. They leave, and they go back. Again, Amy is in the car complaining. Chris and Amanda are, going back home and everything. And so when they get home, you know, Amy tells us that she came back because she was being bullied. Now this is her reason. This is Amy's reason for coming back. She came back because she was being bullied by Chris and Amanda, and she had put up these barriers or put up these safeguards or put up these, what word do I want to use? I don't know. But she claims that she put up these non-negotiables. Let me say it like that. She and they crossed them. When and when you sit there and you fought like that, yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, y'all. Yes, thank you, y'all. She put up these boundaries and they crossed them. And I just was like, no, you didn't. Because once you fought it, you violated the contract. And Chris even admitted that she fought it right in Amanda's face. You've crossed my boundaries. Thank you, y'all, for helping me with that word, because I swear to God, I couldn't get that. I just couldn't think. So they go back, they doing what they doing with the woo whoop and the boo boo boo. Tammy is coming home. Tammy is like, you know what? Fuck her. Amy says that when she came back, Tammy was blowing her phone up, cussing her out, telling her that she had abandoned her, she left her, and all of that. And she did. She left her because she wanted to be with this man. In the meantime, and in between time, Amy and her boyfriend decides that they're going to go to a wedding show so that she can go around and try to um um get more attention from these people who are paid to give her attention. These people are trying to sell their services and their business. They don't give a fuck about you getting married in an asylum. They're going to act like, oh my God, oh, that's so different. Yeah, because they're trying to serve you. She went to the one lady and she was like, we do outside venues and, everything like that. And so Amy was, basically saying, well, is it a crazy asylum? Is it haunted? The lady said, it ain't haunted, but I mean, you damn sure could be out there. I think that, just then she tells Brian, at least, total strangers are listening to me and they're allowing me to talk and say, my ideas. Well, guess what? Your family did too, but they said we're not fucking coming. And they know that this is dumb. Why ain't she saying anything to the other sister, to Misty or whatever? Why she ain't saying nothing to her? Because she knows she will cuss her down. She will cuss her down and chop her off at the knees. That's why she ain't saying nothing to the other sister. Because she know better. So now she has this grand idea to ask Tammy to come over to the house. This guy, Brian, is a very bad influence on Amy. He's just here on television and he don't say nothing. But I'm telling you right now, if Amy doesn't have somebody to tell her what to do and how to think, that 14% brain function that she got ain't doing the trick. This girl's dumb as a. So anyway, they Tammy comes home and they decide that they're going to celebrate Tammy. And honey, when I saw that dilapidated porch and that do not trespass sign, I said, if they don't get Tammy up out that bitch and go kid on and renovate that place, they should have did that while she was at the goddamn hospital, bitch. Tammy is happy because her girlfriend sent her some flowers too. I forgot to say that her little girlfriend sent her some flowers downtown. So they all standing outside and they're waiting for Tammy to come. They pop the little confetti stuff. Misty talks about how good she looks. Tammy, had to use the bathroom. Now she's like, I definitely gotta go and pee because they popped the little things for, they had a nice little welcome party, for Tammy and everything. And I thought that was fantastic. But Amy, again, like I said, only did it because she needed to check it off the fucking box. That's all she did. She didn't care because she got jealousy in her heart towards her sister. She can't, you can't be happy and jealous for somebody. They asked Amy, can you tell if the weight that Tammy is lost? I can now. A blind person can see. Now she's so blind. How fucking convenient. So anyway, they decide to have this conversation. Now Amy knows that Tammy just got out the hospital. Why is the meeting over at Amy's house? Amy got that man up in there and her little boy's playing. Tammy comes to the house to have a conversation. Chris picks her up and he's like, I'm gonna go hit on, I'm gonna take you over here and you gonna have this conversation and you gonna make it do what it do. Now mind you, y'all, Amy is saying that Amy is saying that she is mad because her boundaries were crossed. So Tammy gets to the house and she sits down in the chair and she wants to have this conversation with Amy. Amy tells her that they were bullying her and that she did not like them bullying her, and she told them to stop over and over again, and when they didn't and they crossed her boundaries, she came back. So Tammy was like, but you took that out on me. I didn't do anything. I did nothing. You took it out on me. Then the next thing you know, the real truth comes out. You're not coming to my wedding. I'm there for all y'all. I've been to all of y'all's weddings. I've checked all the boxes. And now that I want to get married in an asylum, a haunted asylum, you won't come. Tammy said, you damn right I'm not coming. If you had it somewhere else, I would show up. But since you're not having it anywhere else, I'm not showing up. Amy sits there and cries and says, I don't have a family anymore. Tammy says, stop. What you gonna do is you gonna stop this jealous bullshit you got going on. Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Bookie. Tammy said, this is some jealous crybaby bullshit. She is mad because I am a success. And I'm sorry, I absolutely agree. Where is the lie? There is no lie. Tammy has grown up. She is standing up in her shrinking underwear. And she is like, I'm not going for the okey doke anymore with my sister. I came from this to this. And damn it, I'm going to. Tammy said, I came from this to this. And I'm going to celebrate. And I ain't going to let you rain on my parade. I'm not going to let you do that jealous bullshit or nothing. You can sit your ass there and cry. Wait a minute, hold on. You can sit your ass there and cry all you want to. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to the asylum. If you get married there, I'm not showing up. And I don't give a damn about you crying about it. You need to stop crying and take responsibility for your period. And that's on everything. Tammy came from this to this. And ain't nobody got time to be dealing with Amy with her foolishness. So Amy says, I don't pick on nobody. So Tammy was like, I wasn't nobody bullying you. Wasn't nobody doing X, Y, and Z. She said, yes, you would. Yes, you would. She said, because you was back there filming me when I was in the back of the car asleep. Chris said, take the footage, the beam footage, and send it to the group chat. And Tammy was like, this what we do. Amy was like, but I don't make fun of you. Tammy said, the hell if you don't. While I was still in the hospital, you sent me this picture of your son, Gage, with a pepper on his head. I'm going to just go ahead on the lead that there. Hey, Tamika, how you doing? Now, Amy, having no defense, when she would send her a picture while that girl is bandaged up and send her a picture of her son imitating her, do you think Tammy got mad about it? No. But since you want to go tit for tat, let's go tit for tat. I took a picture of your ass and recorded you in the back of the truck, sleep, and you had your baby do this. So, no fair exchange, ain't no robbery. This just what we do as siblings. Chris didn't put it, they didn't put it on social media. So now the truth comes out that you fucking mad because I ain't going to the wedding. Tammy said, I will be a bridesmaid. I will do whatever it is that she want me to do. I just ain't going to do it in an asylum. I'm not I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, and I'm not taking it back. And I'm going to walk out the house until you get yourself together. She came back in there. She had fixed Tammy some food. Why would you fix Tammy food and Tammy just got out the fucking hospital? Tammy look good. Look at that. Now, I don't know what's going on with the bras. Okay, now I got an issue with the bras. But bitch, Tammy look good. Thank you so much, Vanessa Dokes, for the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, boo. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for the $5 super chat. Auntie, I'm so glad Tammy laid Amy out. Me too, Charlotte. Me too, Charlotte. It was coming. Thank you so much, Vanessa and Charlotte. I appreciate you because you don't have to do it, but you do. Thank you, ladies, so much. Hold on for a second. Let me give y'all a little song. Let me see if I got me a little song down in here. I think I do. Here we go. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, y'all. Now I gotta find a way to get myself back on this screen. Hold on, y'all. What the hell is that? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell are you on? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you, y'all. Oh, okay, there go another one. Thank you so much, Eugenia Lovely, for the $4.99 super chat. Auntie, would you be a bridesmaid at the it? No, indeedy. Absolutely not. I wouldn't even show up. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even open it up. I know what you meant, boo. I wouldn't even open up the invite. Then she says she told Chris that she was going to cancel the wedding, but she ain't gonna let her family get her. She gonna have the wedding anyway. Well, ain't nobody tell you to cancel this. They just told you that they won't coming. And now she's sitting up there, why do everybody want to make me the bad guy? Everybody want to make me the bad, but I don't have no family no more. Don't nobody want to go to my wedding. Don't nobody want to be happy for me. Everything is, honey, Tammy said, I don't want to hear that shit. Tammy said, I don't care. Tammy said, I'm not coming up in there and sitting in no crazy asylum. And so Amy was like, but your dolls is haunted. Honey, when she said something about them daggone dolls that Tammy done birthed about her coochie. Tammy was like, don't talk about my dogs. Ain't nothing wrong with my dogs. You don't cross the line up in here. Don't you ever talk about my damn dogs. My dogs ain't on. Amy was like, you don't know if they on. She said they ain't gay. Got there's a difference between spirits and hauntedness. Bitch, when she said something about Tammy's little dogs, Amy said they could be haunted. They could be demons. Tammy was like, they give off another type of energy. I know my dogs ain't my dogs not haunted and they not possessed and they not Tammy, them little be talking. Girl, I saw you one day out there on the tiki talkie and the goddamn dogs was talking and you was sitting up there talking about them dogs is talking. So I'm sorry, but I ain't don't keep with your ass on that one, Tammy. Them dogs real fucked up. Okay, them dogs be like, and you sitting up there holding them. Do I got a dog? I ain't got no dog. Do the dogs got a toy? You be let me hold my little elephant. You be up in there like, oh, they be like, those dogs do too much. The fuck? You just didn't think that Amy was gonna reach, but Amy, right? Oh yeah, she reached. Cause them dogs do be doing a little bit too much. You and that other girl, and y'all be talking about some where they came from and what kind of family they was with, and they done seen death, life, and been resurrected, and they sitting up in thrift stores stinking, smelling quite moldy, and y'all be bringing them bitches back to y'all's. Now Amy was doing a little bit too much, but I'm sorry, I'm with her on them fucking dogs. Thank you so much. Auntie, there's not enough sage or holy water for me to attend Amy's wedding. I know that's right, Randy. Thank you so much, Boo, for the super chat. I appreciate you, sweetie. I was with Amy on the dolls. But honey, I'm telling you right now, it looked like Tammy whole head spit around like exorcism was getting ready to go on up and up. She talked about them dogs. Tammy went out in that car, honey, and had a straight up convo. She said, I need to talk to the people. Tammy said, I'm going out in this car and I'm advocating for my dogs, bitch. I need to have a conversation with them. My dogs ain't wicked. They ain't haunted. Nothing. Tammy was dead ass. She said, what she not going to do is sit up here and talk about my dogs. Did I get that picture, that serious picture, Tammy? God dang it, I ain't get it. Tammy went out to the car to have a conversation. She said, my dogs ain't haunted. You done crossed the line. Tammy said, Amy crossed the fucking line. She said, now that's too much. They got spirits of where they came from. Now you lost on this one. Honey, next thing you know, I don't know if a spirit of a dog came out or what came out. But Amy said that old bitch. She ain't gonna come to my wedding. I'm still gonna have my wedding. She don't sit there and talk to me any kind of way she want to. Lost a little bit of weight. Now, mind you, Tammy done went from this to this. And Amy said she done lost a little bit of weight and thinks she can talk shit to me and criticize me. She need to be brought down a peg. I said, shakala la ba papa. She said, I'm gonna bring that bitch down a peg. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa Lynn. I didn't even see this for the 199 super chat. Super chat, Auntie. I love your no nonsense. Thank you, boo. Thank you so much. Did I miss anybody? She said she bringing Tammy down a pig. She said you done lost a little bit of weight, and bitch, you done went overboard. Let me play all of y'all a little song real quick. Hold on, let me make sure I get y'all a little thank you for the super chats. Hold on. Oh no, you didn't. Oh no, you didn't. Thank you for that super chat. Now let's get on back into this foolishness, shall we? Oh yes, we shall. Thank you, everybody who super chatted. I truly appreciate that. Y'all, let me tell y'all. Amy is jealous of Tammy's success. Tammy said, it ain't my fault that you done sat up there and ate all that food and gained all that weight. She said, it ain't my problem. Now, granted, Amy has gone through a lot. She done broke up with Mike. She was fighting over her credit card. Well, Amanda was. I mean, she's been through a lot. She's been having these boys. She go down there, Campbell bite her. You know what I'm saying? Amy, granted, has gone through a lot. But at the end of the day, she's jealous of Tammy. And Tammy sits in the car and says, I believe my sister already got some kind of demons on her. And I just want my sister back. She told Amy, you are turning into the kind of person that I don't want to be around. I don't want to be around you. That's the person you're turning into. And that was really sad for Tammy to say that because Tammy was broken hearted for her sister. Because even although the two of them have had their little problems over the years, they have been the closest. I believe that Amanda and Misty are close, and Tammy and Amy have been close, as sisters should be. But Tammy was brokenhearted when she talked about them dolls. And then on top of that, right, she accused her of doing something by saying she didn't do the same thing. When Tammy, it appears that when Amy gets with a man, she 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 just casts her family to the side. And I do truly believe, y'all, like I believe this, that Amy thinks that everybody is indebted to her because it was her YouTube channel that has created this wealth, the surgeries, and all that stuff for them. Now, somebody has showed a picture of Brittany where Brittany evidently has already gotten the weight loss and she's lost a lot of weight. But Brittany need to get rid of that headband, bitch, because until she get rid of that headband, we ain't seen no change in her. Okay. But we're going to see how all of this happens. Congratulations to Tammy. Tammy is looking absolutely fabulous. And I am so freaking happy for Tammy. What a huge accomplishment. As I said, we have been out here for 7 seasons talking about the 1,000 pound sisters. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that when I go live, you go live right along with me. Also, there is a playlist that you can go back if you're new here, go back over the old seasons of all of the times that we've covered this show and have been rooting for Tammy. So I am so glad that we are here. Let me leave a picture of Tammy. Let me see if I can find a picture of Tammy because I am just so happy for Tammy, y'all. How do y'all feel about it, y'all? Let me know. Look at Tammy. Look at Tammy. And look at Amy. Where's Amy? See, now she got a goblet. See how you talk about somebody's goblet and then you ended up getting one yourself? I mean, it ain't like she waking everybody up in the morning with the cock-a-doodle-doo. Like, cause she damn sure got one downtown to the bottom. Let's see. Okay, here go Tammy old one, and now here go Amy new one. But see, this is what Tammy looking like now. So that's what I'm saying. Shut the fuck up. You want to be starting something, but now you got a goblet coming down at the bottom. Now she got one instead of celebrating her sister. Hey, Jack. Anyway, thank y'all so much for being here. I love y'all. Shout out to Charlotte, Vanessa, Eugenia, Lisa, and Randy for the super chats. I appreciate it, y'all. I love y'all. And until we meet again, please be safe out there in the streets and in the water. Bye, y'all.